Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing well. I'm here with Justin today.
Hi everybody.
I just want to start off by saying a big thank you to all of you who have recently subscribed and been watching our videos. We really appreciate it. So in our last video, we hinted that we wanted to do a video all about old-fashioned English words that Singaporeans use on like an everyday basis. And when we first heard them being used here, it kind of threw us off because we were like,
wait, what?
Wait, what? As always, just a disclaimer, these are just our observations comparing how we use English words in the UK versus Singapore. We're not saying like anyone's right or wrong. We're just interested in seeing the differences and the ways that they are used differently. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started.
A word that I hear in Singapore quite often is thrice.
Yes.
But it seems, to me, it seems like an old-fashioned word.
Yeah, I have never in my lifetime in the UK heard anyone say thrice.
I've never used it.
I've never used it. I've never heard anyone say it. So when we first heard it in Singapore...
Yeah, but it's common. It's like every week.
So what does thrice mean for anyone that doesn't know?
3 times.
Thrice means 3 times. Yeah, I remember hearing it and thinking, what the hell does thrice mean?
No, yeah,
thrice.
You know what it means, but it's a word that you've never used.
Yeah, definitely never used it.
Yeah.
Another word is troublesome.
Troublesome.
Okay, so troublesome basically means that something's like going to be painful. I think in the UK we would often use the word painful, like, oh, that's going to be really painful, as in that's going to be like...
Not painful as in out.
Yeah, as in like...
Painful is like troublesome. How to explain it?
Yeah, painful is like a bother.
Yeah.
Troublesome is just another word that when I first heard it, I just thought it sounded quite old-fashioned and outdated.
Yeah.
And again, I don't think it's something that we'd often hear back home,
no.
use back home.
So another one is seldom. Seldom's a common word in Singapore.
Yeah.
I seldom have ever used that word.
No, you'd say I seldom use that word.
I seldom use the word seldom. Ever.
Yeah.
I never used the word seldom.
I didn't know what seldom meant until I'd moved here because I'd never heard anyone back home use it.
You know what it means?
No, I actually didn't know
what
it meant. I didn't know what it meant.
Oh.
So yeah, I seldom buy McDonald's.
That's a lie.
That is a big lie. Yeah. Sounds like a funny way of saying I don't do something.
But it's like a word that your grandparents would use.
Yeah.
Like an old-fashioned word that it's not common.
Even though I don't think I've heard my grandparents ever used it. But it's just interesting how all these words stuck in Singapore and how in the UK they now seem outdated.
Yeah.
If we said I seldom something in the UK, I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't know what that meant.
No, I'm sure the bulk would know what it meant, but they might go,
what?
What? Why have you used that word? Yeah.
Okay, another one that's quite funny is endearing words that you have for your boyfriends, girlfriends, partners back in the UK. Be like honey, babe, bae, that kind of thing. But in Singapore, a very commonly used word is dear. So the funny thing is...
How are you, dear? Yeah.
Yeah, how are you, dear? The word dear in the UK is only really ever used by the elderly.
Yeah.
So it would be like an old woman like, how are you, dear? How have you been, dear?
Yeah.
You would never really call your partner dear.
No.
So when I first heard like a young couple in Singapore calling each other dear, I was like, oh my god, that's
Wait,
like
what?
a really straight, like to us it sounds like a really outdated thing, like only the elderly would call each other, but here in Singapore, like even the younger generation are using it. So I thought that was really interesting. I really didn't know that.
Yeah.
What's another common term of endearment in Singapore? Do leave them all below because I know there's like babe, dear. There's another, is it sayang? Okay, another one is menses. Do you know what menses are?
I do now, now you told me. But I googled it because I thought that's not a word.
Yeah.
I didn't know this word.
So when we have, it's like our time of the month and you have a period, usually in the UK we'd say, it's really weird when I think about it, but we'd say we're coming on or we're due on, which sounds a bit like elusive, like you're due on what, you're coming on what, but we basically mean we're due on our period, we're due on. Or we just say, what else do we say?
Menstruation.
We would never say we're menstruating.
No.
I'm menstruating.
But you'd know what that means. But menses.
But menses, when I first had like, I think colleagues say it.
I have never heard that in my life.
Yeah, I had no idea that it was related to having a period.
Yeah.
But if you Google it,
it's the right word.
It's the right word to use, menses. But I'd never heard anyone use it.
I've never heard it. Sometimes it tells you when they're used. If they're commonly used now or not. It's over time, so it's dropped massively. It used to be used in the late 1800s.
Oh my god, I didn't know you could do that. If you Google a word and press show more, it shows you a time frame of how commonly used that word is.
So menses was commonly used in the late 1800s.
Yeah, and
not,
1950s.
Not really.
It dropped. That's so weird, I didn't know you could do that.
Which is probably why we've never heard of the word.
We should have used this from the beginning of the video.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. Menses, I don't know if it's commonly used around the rest of the world. If you guys are from outside of Singapore, do let me know if you use it. But usually we just say we're due on or we're on our period.
Another one, which I'd never heard, and I thought that's not right, that's wrong. So when you go to a restaurant and you ask for steak and they say, what did they say?
What doneness?
What doneness?
Huh?
I was like, what? Doneness. But if you Google doneness, it's correct.
What doneness would you like your burger?
What's the doneness of your
What's the
steak?
doneness of your steak?
Yeah.
And I remember we laughed because
I was like, what?
It sounded so wrong to us.
Yeah, I've never heard
And we
that.
were like, that is not a word, doneness.
Yeah.
Turns out it absolutely is a word.
Type it in.
Let's
When
type
was it
it in. Is doneness a real word? See, even people are questioning
People
it.
are Googling it.
Noun, the condition of being cooked to a desired degree, steak prepared to the doneness ordered by the customer.
Yeah.
Don't you guys think that it just sounds
strange,
wrong?
yeah.
Like, it sounds weird.
Doesn't sound like a word.
No, especially when you put it in that way, like, what's the doneness?
Yeah.
Doneness of your burger? You're like, what?
Wait.
So yeah, never heard that used in the UK ever.
Yeah.
Used in Singapore all the time.
But it's a word, yeah.
It's a word.
So it's right.
We're the idiots.
Yeah.
I don't know what to
All of
say.
these words,
Like
they're
all
all
of the
right.
words, we're stupid. Another one is scold and scolded. I think in the UK we would use the term scold if we scolded ourselves, wouldn't we?
Yeah, like burn
If
yourself.
we really burnt ourselves, we would say, oh, we scolded my arm.
Or it was, how hot was it?
Scalding hot.
Yeah.
But we would never use it in the sense of telling someone off.
Yeah.
Just means that they're shouting at you and they're telling you off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember hearing that and thinking, what?
Wait, what?
It's really, really commonly used. So we spoke about this one in the last video, but spoil sounded like a really old-fashioned word to us. If something wasn't working, we would just say it was broken.
Broken, yeah. You could say your phone, if it's water damaged, it's spoiled, isn't it? But something like that.
Yeah, but would we ever say that back home?
I've heard it's used for water damage, like if you spoil your phone because you've dropped it in water.
Oh, okay.
That's the only like scenario I've ever heard it used.
Yeah, to mean that something's broken or not working.
Yeah, but more to do with electrics.
Oh, okay. Because sometimes they don't say spoilt or spoiled. They'll literally just say spoil.
Yeah, but I think that's just the accent, right?
Maybe.
It's like if in my accent, instead of having ing, it's just in.
Yes, exactly.
Like having.
Having.
Instead of having.
Laughing.
Yeah, so I think it's just an accent.
Smiling.
Smiling. Yeah.
We cross
no
off the
G,
ing. Yeah. Okay, and the last one we're going to talk about isn't really an old-fashioned word or anything like that, but I just wanted to touch on it because it makes me laugh.
Is it a real word or is it right or wrong?
Let's Google it.
Stuff. More than one thing. Stuffs. Third person present. Feel or receptacle.
Stuffed.
Stuffed. Yeah.
Guys, I think we have now the evidence that stuffs
Is not a thing.
is not a word. I'm pretty
With an S.
sure. Stuffs is so commonly used in Singapore, and I never understand it.
So you can pack your stuff.
Yeah.
You do not pack your stuffs.
You don't have stuffs.
No.
But in general in Singapore, people add S's on the ends of words all the time
Amazing,
that aren't needed because it's already plural.
Yeah.
Plural. Like luggages.
Luggages, yeah.
And footages.
Yeah.
It's already plural. I wonder how that came about in Singapore.
Yeah. Maybe it's a translation, maybe like, I don't know,
Like a translation thing. Let me know down below, guys. Do you add S's on? Or do you think that doesn't need an S on the end? I'm really interested to know. Let us know what you think of all the words that we have discussed down below. I'd really be interested to hear your thoughts. Yeah. And if you have any more words that you can think of that are used here in Singapore that you think are a little bit outdated or sound a little bit weird, do let us know. We're really interested to know.
Thank you very much. Thank you and good night.
Thank you for coming to our English lesson. We really appreciate it.
No, because it wasn't really.
It was an English lesson for us.
We didn't know any of the words.
Exactly. Literally.
So we're the students.
We are the students. We're learning more and more words every day. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, guys, if you enjoyed it, because it really helps my videos be seen. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more from us, as always. We hope you're keeping safe.
See you next time.
And we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.